The porch light flickered on as I walked out my back door in the early morning hours. I hated mornings. My mind always seemed to be in a fog for a while after I get up. The sun makes the sky so beautiful as it peeks over the mountains first thing in the morning. I sat down on a patio chair and took a large drink of my coffee. The only good thing about early mornings is that there are no people. I shook my head. Some people are just too energetic this early in the morning. A strange smell suddenly invaded my nose, and I scrunched it. Not overly sure about the smell. It smelled earthy yet foreign. It smelled like a living being that wasn't from Earth. I was confused. That's when I noticed mud tracks starting at the rock wall and leading to the patio door. I was suddenly alert and followed the prints to the door, but didn't see them going into my house or anywhere else for that matter. They weren't there when I came out of the house. Confused, I walked the perimeter of the house and found nothing out of place. So I went back and into the house and walked around inside for anything out of place. That is when I found a carnation sitting on the coffee table. Sitting underneath was a folded piece of paper. I opened the paper and it read, "I'm watching you." I looked around as if I could see someone standing somewhere watching me. I took a breath, held it, then released it. I set the flower and note on a bookshelf and forgot about it as I got ready for my day. Later that day, I entered my house and noticed it smelled really earthy. I guess that is the word you could say. I emptied my arms of stuff onto the counter and walked through the house to find where it was coming from. In my room, on my bed, was a very neatly set up altar. A picture of me in the middle of the bed. Carnations were sitting around it. White and black candles were lit at the four corners. Draped over the picture of me was a necklace with a carnation pendant. A lavender incense was lit as well. The smoke swirled slightly as it rose towards the ceiling. "Really nice. Thanks for the offering," I said loudly to whoever did this, as if they were still in the house. "Also very dangerous. Trying to burn my house down?" I was watching very closely. A voice came from my window. I let out a yelp and jumped. "Don't fret. Not here to hurt you." The figure moved towards me. It was rather tall, almost unnaturally tall. I was confused how I wasn't in full panic mode right now. It was the total opposite. I was at peace with this being. I somehow knew he wouldn't hurt me. You've always been my favorite human to watch. The figure dropped its hood back off its head, and I saw the most gorgeous being I've ever seen. It was definitely not human, but had human characteristics. I couldn't find my voice to talk and answer it. I just stood there, mouth dropped open. Its dark hair flowed over its shoulders, glistening in the late afternoon sun. "Who are you?" I managed to whisper out, still in awe at its beauty. "I have no name." Its voice was airy and shaky. "We know each other by smell, and we have no need for names." "Why are you here?" My throat was dry and felt like sandpaper. "You are one of us. You smelt me when I walked past you. Although I made myself invisible, you still sensed me." The being smiled, and its eyes glistened with happiness. "What do you mean? One of whom?" I continued to stare into its eyes. I never felt threatened by this being. "We come from the planet Dagal. Even though we don't use names for beings, we do use names for places. It helps when we travel through the different dimensions." The being brought up its hand and caressed my cheek with the back of its hand. I froze, not sure what to do or how to react. "You don't have to be afraid. We aren't a violent species, not like the humans. We believe in peace and understanding." It used its mind to enter into my thoughts, and I saw a place so wondrous and beautiful. It was so peaceful and calm. Everyone was moving around without a care in the world. Animals lived side by side with these beings as if they weren't predator and prey. The beings wore skin-tight clothes that looked as though they were made of the surrounding foliage. Leaves and flowers were hung and woven within each other. I felt a sense of belonging that I never felt fully anywhere else. Chattering was quiet and meaningful, not loud and small talks of "how are you, where have you been?" One of the beings came up to me and took my hand in it and pulled me after it. I hesitated for a moment until it looked at me with what I would call lust in its eyes. A small smile crept up, and I followed. We went into what looked like a teepee, and it was made out of vines and tree branches and giant leaves. We sat down in the center, facing each other. They told me how I was swapped with a human child to see how one of their beings would do living in a human world rather than in their peaceful world, and how a human child would act and become living with their peaceful beings.